Hello, welcome to Anna Pickle Knitting. My name is Donna and this is Vlogtober number 18. So today is October 18th, 2018, and I'm here for a short vlog today with a children's literature book for the season and a little craft. So the name of our book today is The Big Pumpkin, and this is written by Erica Silverman, illustrated by S.D. Schindler. And this is a story of a witch who wants to make a pumpkin pie, and so she plants a seed and she grows a very large pumpkin. You'll see how big that is. And this is a book that has a lot of repetitive text, so she cannot get it to move. She can't get it off the vine or anything. And along comes a ghost to help her. And this is the repeating verse through the whole thing. Then along comes somebody each time. Big pumpkin, whoever it is, says. It's big and it's mine and it's stuck on the vine and Halloween's just hours away, said the witch, and she kicked that pumpkin. So that repeats with each different person who comes along, and each person says, well, I'm stronger than all of you, so I'm sure I can get it, and of course they can't. Until finally along comes a bat, and he tells them, well, you know, I'm not very big, but I think I have an idea for you. And then it'll remind you of that big story of the turnip that everyone gets together to help and pull out. And as they're pulling, it does come loose, kind of gets away from them, but rolls to right in front of the witch's house. And she's able to get inside and make a pumpkin pie and serve it to everyone who helped. And at the very end, she takes one of the seeds and goes out and plants it again for next year. So it's a cute little story about a big pumpkin. Today, I have a craft for you that is very easy. It is a craft that I saw a tutorial done for on YouTube, and then I watched the Creative Obsession podcast, and Carrie showed this a while back, and it reminded me of having seen that. I had wanted to make them and then kind of just forgot about it. But what's nice is you can make them from a charm pack, a quilting charm pack, and those can be purchased anywhere from $8 to $12 or $13. And you can make quite a few of these. Hold on. Sorry about that. I had them here and I moved them and didn't move them back. So these are some little fall coasters, and you can make them different ways. There's very, very little sewing involved. The back of each of mine, I decided I wanted to have a different one of the colors on the back. So if I use them from the back, I've got 4 different colors, and the fronts are those same 4 different colors. These are put together with this. Each one takes 5 squares from a charm pack. So there's 5 by 5 squares. You could make them larger if you wanted a larger object. So you could measure them if you wanted them a little bit smaller. It really doesn't matter as long as they're square. You follow the exact same procedures. But they're just sewn around the edges. So there's 4 straight lines sewn, and you're almost done. And so here's the little tutorial, my version of it, just to show you how I made these 4. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope that you'll come back again tomorrow. Bye-bye. There are many ways to make this particular coaster regarding the colors that you choose to do. I have decided to use the same 4 fabrics on each of my 4 coasters, and to change the backing fabric each time, so that from the back I'll see a solid color, and from the front they'll look fairly similar. So to do that, I needed to cut 5 5-inch squares out of each of the 4 colors. And each time I will choose one color for the background, making sure I change that every time. So in this case, I'm using green as the background, and then I need the other 4 fabrics folded in half and ironed. It's important to get that to be a nice solid pressed line there. And in the very first step, you're going to want to have your background fabric facing up, and we are going to pick up any one of the fabrics, but make sure that you have the folded side towards the center. So I'll line up my first one, which happens to be the same color. My next fabric will go along the next side, so we're coming around the square, and then put this one here. And the last one is the only tricky one. It's not really tricky, but when you lie it down, you'll see we're missing one of our colors. And so we're going to just pull this back, lift up the first color, and slide that last color underneath. Like that, and then flip this back and you will see your 4 colors, and on the back you'll see the wrong side of that fabric, which is fine. This is the outside edge. I like to pin them through all thicknesses right in here. Go to your sewing machine and all the way around all 4 sides, not leaving an opening, just all the way, 1/4 inch seam allowance. And or you can do a different seam allowance. You can make a different size square. This particular size worked for me, but and it also fits well if you have charm pack, and you could totally alternate all of the fabrics every single time and they would still coordinate nicely. So after sewing around all of the edges, you're going to come back and trim off the corners diagonally so that it is will fold out a little bit better, and then reach inside and flip it out. So we're now going to see that backing fabric on the back. So you want to get a solid, this isn't pushed out of the way, but you'll see that that solid backing piece is there, and then you come back inside and can finish poking out your corners. Now I usually use some sort of a tool to help me get in those corners and push each one out, and you're actually done. If you'd like, you could, here's a finished one. You could come back if you wanted to, put some top stitching around the outside, but you don't need to. So that'll give me these different fabrics on the back, and I have one more still to sew. So that's how to make some really easy fall coasters.